Hey everybody, it's Doom here, and I started painting this and didn't realize I didn't hit record or something happened. But this is just Slaughter Red Speed Paint 2.0, and I am starting to paint Derpy Dragon, my channel's mascot. Now available on our website, www.dungeonswag.com. And this is just a regiment brush from War Paint, or from Army Painter, that I'm using. So stoked to have my own miniature. This was like a long-term dream of mine that I didn't think was going to be as quick as it was, but here it is. One of the smallest YouTube channels that no one fucking watches, and I got my own mini. Quite pleased. Now, with these back spikes, I think that I'm just going to have to come back and paint those later. So to make sure that I get in there and paint all that stuff, I'm just going to get in there and do it, because I don't see another way around it with how small this is. The problem is, Derpy Dragon, I had this like shoulder dragon that was like a Halloween prop on my desk, which I actually broke it today somehow, after, you know, not breaking it for a long time. And that was kind of the beginning of Derpy Dragon, was that really stupid looking prop, Halloween prop. I used to joke that he was Derpy. And then, you know those little kids things that are rainbows that you sketch on and it just draws it in a rainbow? I drew the original cartoon that inspired this on that, and then I transferred it with a pen to an envelope, thinking, oh, I'm going to do a better version of this later. And then I wanted it, when I was trying to make a logo for Dungeon and Doom Biscuit, I wanted to do like a charcoal painting of it, and I didn't have the stuff to do it, so I went into AI, just like some random AI generator, and I uploaded the image and said, please turn this into a charcoal painting. And it was so derpy, like derpier than I ever imagined it could be, that's where my logo came from. Now, for those of you who have gotten packages from me, you'll see that I still hand draw, like on the boxes most of the time, I hand draw him. But the logo itself is an AI generated charcoal drawing. I already threatened Lady Doom that in the campaign on Friday, this was going to be their new NPC for now and forever. She didn't seem super thrilled. I don't know why. I imagine that he either talks like the Tasmanian devil or worse. I'm going to switch brushes. This one's just not doing it for me. I'm going to switch to this starter brush here. This is an Army Painter product as well. I'm not sponsored by Army Painter. I just really like their paints. And I love their brushes. And since they're a direct competitor to Games Workshop, I'm willing to spend the money. Now, if they were dog shit and a direct competitor, it wouldn't be the case. You know, I'm not going to go to a dog shit product, but I can keep some money out of giant corporations' hands. That would be ideal. Man, I cannot get in there nicely. There we go. Get up to that edge of that. Using some renegade techniques to get in there. Oh my God. He's everything I wanted him to be. So derpy. Gotta make sure there's no white showing under that red. Something like that. Pretty good. So I'm going to get a metallic color. I really wish I'd got that first like 3 minutes of silliness while I was setting up to paint and record it. I missed it somehow. So I don't want any color bleeding, so I got to be really careful about how I do this next part. I could use speed paints on these bottom sections, but I have a feeling it'll make me regret it later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get... I don't know. Let me think about this. I'm going to air gun them real quick. Okay, yeah, we'll use speed paint. Let me see what I got. Pallid bone would probably be the best color, or sand golem. Do I have a sand golem 2.0?
Maybe I do. Maybe I do. Maybe I do, I not.
Sand golem 2.0, does it exist? Is it in my kit? Because I let yellow all the day, but I'm not seeing sand golem in my 2.0s. I have to use the... I bought a big ass pack of the 2.0. I don't know. Well, Lady Doom bought it for me for something. I don't seem to have. All right, let's do a test of this. Now, for the toes and stuff, I'm going to use skeleton bone, if I can find it. Get just in there a little bit better. Okay. What I'll do is claws on that. All right, now for his back spike. Oh my God. Maybe I was a little over ambitious. Oops. God, he's so good. Now I'm switching to a fractional brush for this. And I'm not sure what the number on this is. It's an 002 highlighting brush. All right. So I noticed something terrible. I left one of the little printing supports back here, and I don't know if I can get it off now. Okay, I'm going to leave it because I don't want to tear him up after the work I did. It's not super noticeable though. So what I want to do now is with this brush, I'm just going to mix these two colors, and I'm going to drag that for his teeth to give him the unsavory kind of Derpy dragon yellow look. Then I'm going to use Pallid Bone over that to yellow them up a little bit more. And then I'll give them a quick dry brush of an off-white after they're dry. Okay, and then I'm going to darken up his spikes with that a little bit, but I'm not going to put a whole lot of effort into that. And I'm just carefully dragging that along, giving those a bit of a tone that I like. I'm not putting a whole lot of thought into it. I'm also going to drag that across his toes, his fingernails. So I don't want those to be too bright. The only really thing I want to be super bright is his eyes. All right, let me get a brown color to do the handle of that. Sword with. It's actually supposed to be a cleaver. I used to do a fair amount of cutting with a cleaver down here, believe it or not. It was like, I just don't even get into it, okay? Oops. Okay. Now, I'm going to make a quick off-white for that spot that I wanted there. Okay. Something like that. I can't remember what color his irises are. I seem to remember thinking I made them red, but I don't know. I can't remember. Damn, that irritates me. And then you guys are going to be looking at the damn channel and see my logo and know exactly what color the irises are. So if I get them wrong, you'll know. I don't even have any reference art down here in my damn shop. I need to put like a giant Derpy dragon on the wall or something. This is a metallic speed paint, metallic silver. I'm going to use this to to make his sword a little more, his cleaver a little more fun. Let's think about the irises. Damn it. It bothers the shit out of me that I can't remember. Alright, let's put some of these paints away that I'm not using while I think about it. What color were your irises, Derpy?
I don't know, man.
That's not how he talks. Those two Bobcat Goldthwait. I wish I could fucking remember. Were they orange? Were they red? I'm gonna use this pure red color. And we know his pupils are black. This is a 5/0 fractional, very tiny. And sometimes more paint than the actual brush size is necessary just to even see that you made a dot with this tiny brush. Okay. I'm going to do his base now. And I did not do a textured base on him on purpose. Because if you remember my description that in my D&D world, I like to do the bases to where there's like texture, and then the area that's not textured is left black to show where the divider line between the real world and the fantasy world is. Well, for him and the Dungeon Swag Mimic, they're not part of my fantasy world in any kind of meaningful or real way, but they're part of my real world. So I didn't have any terrain under him or anything. He's just a generic mini. I'm going to get a tiny dab of water and just clean up any kind of paint streaks I'm worried about. And just try to clean that up a little bit. Alright, so there's one more thing I want to do to clean him up. I'm going to get a crappy plastic brush, and I'm going to get my white. Let me get a little piece of cardboard here. I'm going to get my white and my tan, or whatever that bone color was. Like that. I'm going to get a little bit of that color I used there. Just like that. Okay. I'm going to get a lot of that off. I'm just going to walk it up. Do a little bit of lightning work. Lighten things up just a little bit. Something like that. There's Derpy. I love it. I want to paint him again. Probably the most fun I've had. Because this is mine, you know? This is nobody else's. This is mine. And, you know, really happy. So anyways, I'm going to hit him with the air gun real quick. I'm going to hit him with a clear coat. Then I'm going to pop him off here and found the missing red. Better ties. Now, you guys know that before you clear coat, you should actually let it cure for an hour or two in the air. But it's a little humid out. I'm not feeling like that's my number one go-to plant at the moment. Now, I am going to let him get a pretty solid cure on the clear coat. But I'm also going to air gun it quickly too. Oh, shit, man. Now, I will tell you this. There were some issues with this, and I did send it back to the drawing board. So I'm going to paint this up for personal use, but this is not going to be for sale on the site until the change comes. So I'm sorry, but it's just there were some things I didn't like about it. I have to quality control all this stuff. You know, ASCO and I take this very seriously. We want to make a good product. And if one of us, or even both of us, you know, if we think there's something wrong with a product, we're not gonna send it out. So definitely gonna be doing some serious painting here though. And I think the next thing I'm probably gonna do is either this troll or this Gremble, which is like a gremlin goblin kind of deal. I don't know. Who knows? I might paint anything. But there's Derpy. Let's see if I can get him off there without a big fight. Beautiful. I love him. Anyways, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon. I don't know what else. Leave comments. All that happy crappy that helps the channel grow. And I'll see you next time. Blah.